Hey guys, so before anyone says, "Oh, you promised to only talk about politics on your Rumble channel," I just got to say I need to say a few things because I'm hearing a lot of people on our side trying to tell me that this killer communist KGB agent Vladimir Putin is a Christian and basically trying to defend his actions. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of people on our side kind of defending Vladimir. I just want to say. This guy's a killer. This guy was in the KGB, and he was in charge of, when Russians invaded Afghanistan. As the war dragged on, they tried new tactics, and he was in charge of making mines that looked like toys, so little kids would pick them up and get blown to pieces. This guy is a killer. This guy is a psychopath. Don't make no mistake. And right now he's targeting children. He's targeting hospitals, schools, apartment buildings. They just use this thermal bomb that is like almost as bad as a nuclear bomb. It just sucks the air out of you and just burns you from the inside out. This guy is brutal. This guy is brutal. But he underestimated the Ukraine people. And I may be the only one to say this, but I think they can win. I think it's David and Goliath. You see, because, you've heard me say this quote before, Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great said, I'm not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep, but I'm afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion. The old question, are leaders made or are they born? Well, I think it was just answered. President Zelensky is a leader. 3 years ago, he was just a comedian, but this crisis made him into a leader. And, you see the difference in Afghanistan. When we left, their leader, Afghanistan, he booked. He was the first one to get out of there with millions of dollars, and left his people behind. And he had he had an army of lions. We had some special forces trained fighters there that stayed and fought, but their leader was a sheep and left. And the Taliban was able to capture Afghanistan, unfortunately, very quickly. And unfortunately, our leader proved to be a sheep, and he abandoned hundreds, and some special forces guys that are over there right now are saying he left thousands of Americans behind, abandoned them. He was just like, okay, I want to get out of there. So on 9/11, I could take credit for ending the war, 20-year war. It's all politics with this guy. He's not a leader. And, with Ukraine, he was going to let Vladimir Putin just take it over, blinking, winking, blinked at Vladimir and said, we're going to put sanctions on you, but we're still buying their oil right now, today. It's like the 6th day of this invasion, and we're still buying Russian oil. America is Russia's #1 oil customer. Think about that. Under President Trump, we were energy independent. If Biden really cared about Ukraine people, he would stop buying oil from Russia, and he would unleash the oil reserve. He would unleash oil. He would just tell us, drill everywhere. He cut our drilling by like 80%. He canceled leases, oil leases all over federal lands. In fact, just last week, his Secretary of Energy bragged, we're going green. I renewed no new leases because there were new leases coming up. He canceled a bunch when he took office with executive orders, canceled the pipeline, made us energy dependent on Russia. So, it's obvious he's very corrupt. He's, been a career politician 50 years. He's taken a lot of money from Russia. There's no denying it. He says it's his family. It's not him. Whatever it is, he's indebted to Russia for a lot of money. He thought this was going to be a slam dunk. They would just take Russia. We'd have some sanctions, just like when he was Obama's vice president and they took part of Russia. They took Crimea. That would be like Mexico taking Florida. And again, we just winked. We kept buying their oil. That's 50% of their income, their revenue. If we cut the oil off, that they would know we meant business. And people say, well, Ukraine's not our fight. But, Ukraine had 5,000 nuclear missiles. We talked them out of giving them up. In 1994, another Democrat loser president, Bill Clinton, got them to sign the Budapest Memoirs. And we all agreed Us, Russia, and them. They agreed to get rid of their nukes. If Russia agreed not to invade, and we agreed to protect them if Russia invade. They were the only guys that didn't renege on the deal. You know, but like I said, Russia's in for more than they bargained for it, because Zelensky turned out to be a lion, and he's standing up and he's fighting, and people are taking his back. And you know what? He's rallying all Europe. Europe was just going to follow Biden's lead and just let it happen. And now they see the men and women fighting, old ladies, Miss Ukraine. The most beautiful warrior you ever want to see is out there with a gun fighting for her country. Everybody's fighting. They're not giving up. And so now Europe's rallying and sending weapons. And Joe Biden said, yeah, we're going to send them some weapons. But these weapons should have been sent months ago. If the Biden administration would have sent them the weapons they asked for months ago, they would have a much better chance of winning. They still got a chance because, you know, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. And the team that won't lose can't lose. This team in Ukraine won't lose. They'll have to kill every single one of these guys. They will. You know, these guys are in. They're fighting. And I'm getting tired of people defending Vladimir Putin. He's a KGB. He's a communist. And communists, dogs bark because they're dogs. Communists kill people because they're communists. Communists want to rule the world. And the only thing that stopped them was Donald Trump for 4 years. He started under Obama, stopped, took a 4-year pause because Trump didn't take no crap. When he went into Syria, Putin went into Syria, and they killed women and children like nothing. They bombed hospitals, they bombed schools. They didn't give a crap about Syria. But when he got too close to our soldiers, Trump gave a 2-word order: annihilate them. And our Air Force annihilated 200 Russian soldiers, and Vladimir Putin didn't do nothing. He shut up and left us alone for 4 years till he seen a weak leader. And this is what communists do. He's doing what communists do. Communists take over countries when they see weak American leadership. Elections have their consequences, and the world is paying a big price for having a weak leader of America right now. Now, Joe Biden's going to come on tonight in the State of the Union and say, I'm getting all of Europe rallying. He's not. Zelensky got him rallying. People rally around a lion. They don't rally around a sheep. Zelensky got Europe rallying. And now we're doing what Biden and Obama love to do. We're leading from behind. Now we're following. Now we're going to start sending weapons. And even I heard a liberal Democrat say, yeah, we need to stop. We need to think about stop buying oil from Russia. Really? You think? Senator Blumenthal. You know, he's a liberal, you know, but he's a politician, and he knows American people are getting sick of this massacre. You know, Blumenthal is a guy who lied, said he was a Vietnam veteran. Turned out he wasn't a Vietnam veteran. That Senator Blumenthal, Democrat from one of the northeastern states. But even he said it. And of course, Joe Manchin's a liberal. He votes with Biden. Don't listen to news. He votes with Biden 90% of the time, but he's got common sense. Even he said, we got to stop. Number one, we got to stop buying Russian oil. Number two, we got to stop this ridiculous Democrat war on fossil fuel in America, because they're still pumping it. We're still using the same amount of fossil fuel. It's just we're dependent on Russia, and Russia's oil is twice as dirty as our oil. They don't give a crap about the environment. I mean, it's ridiculous. John Kerry, when asked about the war, said, John Kerry's Biden's environmental czar. He's like, well, I hope Putin doesn't take his eye off of the environment. I hope he's still focused on climate change. Really? Are these people that naive? This is scary. These are the people running the country right now. A country of lions. Americans are lions, and we're being run by sheep. But thankfully for Ukraine, they're being run by a lion. So pray for Ukraine, and don't be deceived. You know, I think it was an Ukrainian Orthodox Archbishop said Vladimir Putin is the Antichrist of our time. And I say amen. I say amen, Archbishop. I'm there with you. I agree. So, sorry I got a little political today, but it's really bothering me. And we need to pray for Ukraine like you've never prayed before. Just think about it. Hundreds and hundreds of children are being killed. And right now it looks bad. They're surrounded. Vladimir Putin is just sending more forces. He's using more dangerous weapons. It's getting scary. But I think they can win. You know, they're not going to win tomorrow. They're not going to win the next day, but they're going to get bogged down. It's going to be hard to feed and clothe Russian soldiers in Ukraine when you got every Ukrainian on the street shooting at them. It's going to be a logistical problem. I was in logistics when I was in the Navy. So trust me, they're going to have logistical problems. God bless and stay Catholic.